this video, I want to say I'm in a different location. I'm in my caravan. I wanted to go outside and film this, but there are loads of bumblebees and wasps, and I don't think you really want to see me running around and screaming. And also you will hear running water. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. That's just a fountain we got outside. So this video is going to be on a ghost hunt we did Friday, which was the 25th. I'm out of breath a bit. Which was the 25th of May. This was a last minute. We just wanted to go on a ghost hunt, so we were scrolling through all the websites, and this one come up, which is quite close to us, so it wouldn't have took us long to get there or come back, as we didn't want to stay anywhere. This was at Leominster. We could see there was 2 places just left, so we emailed them just on the off chance, and they said yes, and we got it for £30 each, but originally it was £49 each, so we got it for 60 quid. And then, as I said, it's at Leominster. It's called the workhouse, but it's now like a youth hostel. There was nobody there. It was just us lot. I think there was 26 of us altogether. There was some people that have been on some before, and there was quite a few people that it was their first time. And this place we went to, it had never been investigated before. So we were the first people in there that have been there to try and contact spirits. So that was exciting, because it was like the guinea pigs to see if there was any activity. Again, base room, you have your chat. The one that was hosting it, she had a little white dog, and this little white dog, while we was all outside having a cup of coffee, just kept going up to this one place and just stopping, like it wouldn't go any further. It wouldn't go past this one spot, which was strange. It was running around the other side of the garden. This one spot it would not go to. Which was a bit freaky before we even started doing anything. And then, to our surprise, Daniel MacDonald was there. We had him on a ghost hunt. This was with Fright Nights also. Can't remember if I mentioned that. It's with Fright Nights, and it was 8 o'clock till 3 AM. As I was saying, Daniel MacDonald, we went to Galleries of Justice with him, and he's really, really good. So we had a surprise seeing him there. He was our medium. He's really, really nice, and he's just amazing. Right, so the chat, and then with all the people, there was one person that was very sceptical. He didn't know whether to believe or not. And everybody was like in 2 minds if they did believe or didn't believe, and there was a couple that did believe, like me and Philip, we do believe, and others did believe. We had a walk round. We usually have more of a chat at the beginning, but because it was their first time investigating that place, they didn't really have much to say, because they didn't really know what was there, what you could encounter, because it was the first investigation ever there. We had a walk round, the medium, always. We didn't go in any rooms. We went in this one room. I think it was a TV room. There's a TV in there, as it would be a TV room. And we all had to hold hands. No, first of all, sorry, we were still downstairs and we did the grounding and protection, and then we went upstairs, went in that TV lounge, just quite a small room, and we all had to hold hands, and the medium was asking for spirits to affect us, push us, bring us down to our knees. Me and Philip were being pushed a little bit, but not enough to bring us down on our knees. And then went downstairs, had another cup of coffee and a biscuit, and then it was off to do our own investigations. We went in a couple of the rooms. Nothing was really going on. I know Philip did a prank with somebody. We was in this one room and there's this group, and I think they were newbies. And I was sat in the dark, and Philip was like behind the door, so I was like in a chair in the dark. And these people, they opened the door and they go, "Oh, there's somebody in there." And then you could hear them talking outside. Go, "There's somebody in there," and somebody was saying, "No, there isn't." And Philip goes, "Hide, hide." So I hid behind like this wall in there. And this girl goes, "Oh my God," and she started screaming, "There's nobody in there now." And somebody else looked in and said, "No, there's nobody in there." And then Philip got the handle, because he could still hear him outside, got the handle and started moving it really, really slowly, screaming. They ran all the way downstairs and then come back up, and then Philip showed himself, and there he goes, "For God's sake, give us an heart attack," which was good. Then, I know we shouldn't do it, but it's good when they're first timers and they don't know what to expect. And then, as I said, we was on our own. We went into a couple of rooms. Nothing really happened. And then we went outside and went around the churchyard, because that's right by it. So we was allowed to go around the churchyard. There was like these tomb things, and we put this ball on top and said, "Move this ball," and it just moved. We can't be sure if it was the wind or wasn't the wind. That's all we got there. And then everybody come back, and the one group said in the graveyard there was this black cat that was sat on a grave and it wouldn't move. They even went up to it and it wouldn't move. So that was that. And then we got split up into two groups. We was downstairs first with Daniel MacDonald, and he was asking everybody to be pushed onto their knees. Nothing was really happening. And then he started playing some like music, and all of a sudden I was pushed. And I went straight down on my knee, well, on my one knee, so I was sat on my bum like that, and then I was trying to hold on to people like this on the floor. And then another girl opposite me come down, another girl that side, and that one that's sceptical, they kept saying to him, "You okay?" because they said he went really rigid. And then there was this one bloke, and he was just in a trance. He was just stood there, and no expression at all. As I said, this was in the dark, but you could still see, because it was pretty light that night. And then this one girl that was by Philip says, "There's something in me." And then Daniel MacDonald took her away, and he was trying to make her come round, so he had his hands, and he goes, "Come on, come back through, leave her alone," and so forth. But it wasn't working at all. So he said, "Somebody break hand, 1 after 3, break hands," and somebody turned on the lights. He turned on the lights, and her face, she was quite a quiet girl, didn't say much. You could see the whites of her eyes, and she had this really like nasty look like that on her face. And he was sat in front of her, and he said, "Everybody, I want you out now except her, him and him." So before we went out, that one that was rigid, he seemed okay. But that other bloke, he was just in a trance. He was just like that. People were talking to him, he was still like that. I sat him down and he was still like that. And he goes, everybody out. Because as I walked past, I see that girl and her eyes, you could see the whites of her eyes, and she was like looking at her. It was horrible to see that. It was creepy. So we went outside, and then I don't know what he did, but he brought them all back round, and they were fine. They didn't remember anything at all. She was a bit freaky. And then it was time for us to go upstairs. And he said, when you go upstairs, make sure that girl, the other bloke and the other bloke, do not go on the glass moving. So we went in this room upstairs with the host. She was sat down, and then me and Philip sat down at a table. And that girl, the girl, is it gone a bit dark in here? Oh. And the girl that was possessed sat by the host, like the old woman, and their table in front was moving. Ours moved a little bit, but wasn't moving that much. And then this wife of this bloke kept calling his name, and he wouldn't answer her. She kept calling him, wouldn't answer her, so obviously he was in another trance. And then all of a sudden, the girl that was sat down, she was going, why don't you stop it now? Get out now. And the old woman, the host, was going, no, we're not going. You leave her body now. And she goes, I am not scared of you. And then this girl, you could see her, she sat up like this, and all of a sudden she went, like laughing with her head back. She sounded like a witch, and it was a witch that overtook her downstairs as well, that Daniel MacDonald said. And she kept on, leave her body now, this old woman was saying. She goes, no, you old bag, leave me alone, I'm staying. And then they was moving the glass, the old woman's taking no notice of her. He's moving the glass, and then all of a sudden she said, stop prattling about. Like she said, stop. I don't think she said prattling. I thought she said, stop doing what you're doing on that table. And they was going, and then the old woman was going, no, let them do it. And then all of a sudden she stood up, she got the table, she threw it against the wall, the glass went across the room, the table hit the wall the other side, and I almost pooed my pants. So I jumped so much, my heart was beating like a good one. My God, after that I was shaking, I was petrified. It took him about 20 minutes for them to get the witch out of her. And that bloke, he was just in a trance up against the wall like that. And the other bloke, when this girl changed, he was just looking at her also like that in the trance. And then he just suddenly shook his head and he come out of it. But those two, no. And then the girl that was with this girl was in floods of tears. She said that's not her. She doesn't speak like that. And then all of a sudden she was speaking a different language, which nobody understood. And she goes, no, she can't speak any other language, which was really, really freaky. And just her eyes and the expression on her face and the whites of her eyes, it was horrible. And then we went, had a break again, and then we all joined up, went down the graveyard. Again, they was asking to be pushed and whatever, and some girls were pushed down on their knees and then all the way on their backs. And me and Philip was being pushed, but we weren't being brought down. And then after that, we see the cat also, and the cat come in the middle of the circle. So that cat was there hours after that group's in it. And it was just there, sat on the graves, and it come in between us that everybody was freaking out about. And in that circle in the graveyard as well, that bloke was in a trance again, but he come out of it. Then we went back to the room downstairs. We were having another seance, so it was all holding hands. I got brought down to my feet. A girl 2 people away from me was brought down also. Another girl was swinging back and forwards. Philip was brought down to his knees. The K2 light thing was going off. It was a really, really good night. And that bloke got... he was in a trance again. Everybody was speaking to him and he wasn't answering. And that girl, she said... They asked if she was okay and she goes, yes, I'm fighting it. So it was trying to get back in her, but she was fighting it. So it was a really, really good night for £30 each. Really, really good. I wasn't expecting much because it was the first investigation there, but really, really enjoyed it. Really, really good. Got home and I was still terrified when that girl changed. It was horrible. Anyway, so that is that one. Hopefully I will be doing another one in 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks time at the Siney High House. So stay tuned for that, and there will be footage with that. Okay, so I hope you're all taking care in this lovely hot weather. If you haven't already, please subscribe up here and I will see you again in my next video. Okay, take care. Bye bye.